We're really holding on for the PC's tremendous year. Associations have earnestly committed to Goliath responsibilities about workstations, yet the things really haven't shown up. Following a tedious, somewhat long month of PC releases, Computex 2022 is finally wrapped up. To a great extent, the Computex wasn't long. The early piece of this ongoing year was an interesting and open door to being a PC reporter. Every association and its mother proclaimed that enormous considerations were coming. Abnormal things thrived, from screens to phones. LG Display, which gave the 13.3-inch board to Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Fold, paraded a 17-inch foldable OLED screen. We saw RGB, OLEDs, and haptics in overflow. Chipmakers ensured constructing improvements and execution gains. We were educated that these were all not far off. Around the completion of May was Computex, the best PC Express exhibition of the year. For sure, it genuinely was all of May, since various overall members couldn't get to Taiwan. Most associations just did anything they could want to do and emptied their conveyances whenever, but that is another story. I'm really recovering from this significant length of steady statements. Compassionately don't message me. This would have been the best time for a piece of these imaginative conveyances to be, conveyed. Then again, get a conveyance date. Nevertheless, we didn't get them at Computex 2022. The show was, truly, powerfully unexciting. We got a lot of chip thumps. We got some higher resuscitate rate shows. We got an HP Spectre X360 with rounder corners. Truly, I am very amped up for the adjusted corners. In any case, I may be the principal individual on the planet in this boat. Do whatever it takes not to misread me. Incremental updates, both to inside specs and external parts, are huge. They will affect people's lives. Associations don't need to rethink the wheel with every single PC they release. However, it is at this point critical that different contraptions that truly seem, by all accounts, to be prepared to develop or redescribe their groupings are not yet here. Then again, if they are, I can't view them recorded accessible as bought. Coming up next are a couple of outstandingly expected things revealed as of late that have still not come to my workspace. Asus ZenBook 17 Fold OLED was first announced at CES for Q2 of 2022. There are 25 days left of Q2 as of this structure, and we don't for even a second have a confirmed expense as of now. This is one of various presumed 17-inch foldable PCs that we've expected for this current year. Samsung similarly showed a crackpot at CES, and HP should have one in progress. We didn't see either at Computex. The XPS 13 2-in-1 is one of the fundamental models in the convertible space. Alright, so this one hasn't actually been proclaimed as of now, notwithstanding, it's spilled. And according to the openings, Dell is sensible trading this thing away from the ordinary 2-in-1 design factor and into a Surface Pro-like device. No notification of that in May. The non-adventure variation of the HP Elite Dragonfly Chromebook is the single device that Verge staff have been most amped up during the current year. It's prepared to be the important Chromebook to consolidate a haptic trackpad and Intel V Pro, among other critical new components. This ought to convey in April when it was announced at CES. Around the start of May, we got an update. It's as of now coming this mid-year, yet not at this point in a stock. Examining HP, the in like manner exciting Dragonfly G3, which finally polishes the 3:2 exhibit-off business line and which we saw a model of in January, was at first expected in March. Looking at HP's site, it appears to be like it's right now holding off on conveyance until July. Lenovo's ThinkBook Plus Gen 3 is the 2022 conveyance that I've been for the most part eventually amped up for. It's a 17-inch two-fold screen contraption. While two-fold screen contraptions that put the control center toward the front of the deck can anyway be exceptionally perfect, their position doesn't work for everyone. The ThinkBook Plus puts the screen as a reconsideration, keeping the control center at its standard position, yet a piece far aside, and keeping the touchpad a usable size, an arrangement that could be more practical for certain individuals. It was actually quite cool to use in Lenovo's CES demo district, and could really be a useful imagining of the twofold screen structure factor. This ought to send in May anyway is at this point relatively close according to Lenovo's site. There's in like manner no sign yet of the ThinkPad Z series, and a crazy new ThinkPad line that targets Gen Z consolidates a haptic touchpad and a vegan cowhide cover and is conceivably one more vision for who a business PC can benefit. This ought to convey in May, yet no dice as yet. The site, as of this organization, really says coming spring 2022. RDNA 3, AMD's remarkable new period of Radeon GPUs that are rumored to bring insane execution upgrades. The restores AMD displayed were at this point a significant statement. At this point, the communicated single-string gains were disheartening in the assessment. It's not all awful data. Presumably, the most expected devices of 2022 have been followed through on time, recalling different things for the gaming side like Asus ROG Flow Z13. Likewise, clearly, associations diverge from plans, continually. Nonetheless, I obliterated Truly Investigate my impression with Gartner Research VP Stephen Kleinhans, and it has every one of the reserves of being legitimate. Regardless of your perspective, we are seeing defers in PC shipments, which are consequently influencing conveyances. It's everything except an issue excellent to the PC space. Clearly, adventures regardless of your perspective, including the auto field, are being held up. These deferrals, Kleinhans acknowledges, are, clearly, generally creation network issues, and a lot of it has to do with the continuous COVID situation in China, which has provoked lockdowns in key tech communities. Kleinhans let me in on that until China genuinely opens back up, which is apparently the thing we're seeing now, and it can compensate for some recent setbacks from the gathering that has been made. We will continue to see aggravations on top of the interferences that were by then there. He figures PC availability could be upset essentially towards summer and towards the year's end. It's not only that associations are encountering trouble getting current-gen units into their hands. In Kleinhans' view, it has to do with the fulfillment of last-gen arranges too. If you have a client who put in a solicitation for 1,000 machines 3 or 4 months earlier, they really haven't gotten them. You would prefer not to release the ongoing year's model while those orders are uncommon, Kleinhans told me. We're totally considering defers on current models to be well. A critical number of Apple's most recent MacBook Pros are showing transport dates of late July or later. Macintosh is overwhelmingly expected to have one more MacBook Air all set, and it will be interesting to see whether the association can stick to its standard close-term availability course of occasions. Concerning store network delays, the PC market isn't exactly the most clearly horrendous hit, or by and large critical, industry. The world will continue to turn if 17-inch foldable PCs take shockingly lengthy to convey. Likewise, PC delays are not exactly the most huge or compelling result of this pandemic. Regardless, this current situation should go about as a reminder of a reality that is, honestly, reliably worth reviewing. The PC space has incalculable moving parts. Various things are expected to go right to convey the PC you're forming right now, and the PC I'm making as of now, a Zephyrus G14 if you're intrigued, to our doorsteps. It's charming to live in a world stacked with haptics, foldable, and 2x execution gets in the early piece of the year. Nonetheless, this current truth is more bewildered and depleting, and, shockingly, the coolest improvements require a wide scope of vital destinies to arrange.